Now for updates on sports stories across the globe, Aaron Ekerejola joins us. Hello, Aaron. Good morning from Uyo.
Yes, a very good morning to you, Vimbai. Good morning to you, Doctor. Good morning to you, Rufai. Let's get this started. It's not a very, very clement morning here in the city of Uyo because just behind me at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, we witnessed the Super Eagles experience a shock defeat to the Amavubi of Rwanda. 2-1 was how we actually ended. And that sent me into overdrive to find out what really is happening because I was already hearing snippets about something going on. Now let's talk about the story behind the story. Like the movie Beauty and the Beast, the opening line, a tale as old as time. Allegations, counter-allegations, financial malfeasance, misappropriation as the case may be. Now let's talk about the fact that what opened the Pandora's box literally had to be that investigative report which was published accusing the Nigerian Football Federation of several things, including one, millions of dollars and billions of naira earmarked for men and women national football teams were being misappropriated. So that misappropriation by the executives of the Nigeria Football Federation would explain it deeper. There were also, the investigation also highlighted that a total sum of about 20 billion naira was released to prosecute 3 major footballing tournaments besides the yearly budgetary allocation. And the NFF also received the sum of $4 million from CAF as prize money for participating at the AFCON earlier this year. So they detailed out quite a number of allegations on the foot of the Nigeria Football Federation. But the Football Federation have responded because I went around digging and they also said that these allegations are baseless and are works of mischief makers who seek to smear the name of the Nigeria Football Federation because they did not take into cognizance the fact that for the first 1 year of the Nigeria Football Federation, they didn't get subventions and also remuneration from the federal government to prosecute matches and tournaments they went for. So hence they were in the red and they had to do they had a lot of backlog of unpaid wages and bonuses. They went on to also to state that inflation literally has wiped out almost everything that their sponsors bring to the table, understanding that these deals were signed in 2021, and they're saying that as of 2022, 2023, no thanks to the inflation and also the exchange rates, that certainly if you convert the monies from dollars to nairas, it's almost like pennies and cents at the moment. That is what they are saying. Now, away from that, quickly, let's talk about the fact that the resultant effect of all that has happened got the players annoyed because they felt they were being shortchanged and they were being made to work as slaves and not get paid for their actions. So the players were triggered by this particular allegation and felt shortchanged, and they decided and also threatened that they were going to boycott the game, Nigeria versus Rwanda. Appeals were made, explanations were made that these allegations were unfounded. As a matter of fact, that they are open to investigation, they are open to scrutiny, that they get scrutinized by some of the biggest houses in Nigeria and also by FIFA on a consistent basis. And the players also accused the federal government of reneging on their promises that they made to them after that very, very valiant performance at the AFCON earlier this year in Ivory Coast. And all that culminated to a very, very anemic and lethargic showing that saw the Super Eagles lose to the Amavubis yesterday. But a massive intervention was being done as the chairman of the Nigeria Sports Commission, or the National Sports Commission, alongside his DG and the NFF president, sat down with several of the key players of the of the Super Eagles and explained to them that, listen, this is what is happening. This is what is on ground. We are being made to prosecute matches left, right, and center with different cadre teams from the Super Eagles, Super Falcons, Falconet, Golden Eaglets, and on down the pyramid. And monies are being used for what really financed some of these things, and most of the time they're always in the red. When the explanations were made, promises also, 4K promises were made to the players in terms of getting their houses, that they were going to talk to Wike to ensure that the lands that were promised to them were going to be given to them, and also to ensure that all the backlogs are being taken care of. And also the sharing formula of some sorts was also decided in that particular meeting. And finally, the players themselves also said that they will ensure that they do all within their power that is humanly possible to get our World Cup campaign and the qualification back on track, which is very, very important. It's unfortunate what has happened. And this is not the first time we've seen this kind of issue rear its ugly head. And issues concerning administration affecting the style, the gameplay on a given match day. This is not the first time, and we are hoping with this new chairman of the National Sports Commission, with his grasp and understanding of the game and how the politics of the game is being run, that he can actually put a cap on this.
Aaron, I'll tell you a story. The last
I can hear you fine.
The last time I cried over a Nigerian game was Nigeria versus Denmark, France 98. And when the exit reports will come out as regards that game, we also had problems like this in discipline, and also there were issues raised here and there about, you know what, all this money. Because I felt in my mind that I had already foreseen the fact that Nigeria was going to meet Brazil after beating Denmark in the second round and meet Brazil in the quarterfinals. I started fantasizing Nigeria, Brazil, France 98. But we know how that game ended. Denmark, sand, kept on putting sand in our goalpost. It ended 4-1. Peter Rufai was on the ground. And since then, something left me as regards being, you know, very emotional as regards the national team. Truth has to be said. Aaron, that has happened again. Aaron, why are they making promises now? If that petition, it was a petition, it was not an investigative report. It was a petition written to the presidency where the EFCC was copied, where the DSN, and I think that petition should still be investigated. So if that petition had not leaked...
They said they are open to be investigated.
It should be investigated. So if that petition had not leaked, would they be now making all these promises? If that petition had not leaked, how are we going to know that the houses and the lands promised to these players have not been fulfilled?
Okay. I think sometimes what happens to morale beyond the politics, what happens to morale when you go into a match with the attitude that you don't really have to win it can be a dangerous thing. Going against an Amavubi who needed this win to qualify. Unfortunately, the goal difference between Libya and Benin, I believe, didn't allow them to do so. But they went in there hungry because Rwanda has only ever been to AFCON once in their life. So they needed this game with their everything. And unfortunately, you know, met with the politics happening within Super Eagles and NFF, and also I think that sort of attitude that we don't really need this win, it meant that they were unfortunately unprepared for a team that was ready to leave it all on the pitch just so they could qualify to AFCON. So quite a sad defeat, and I hate that, you know, we always pick up momentum. We get to a high, and then something happens that always just, you know, knocks us down when we're just at the peak of enjoying a victory or a success. So I really do hope that, you know, these issues can be, I don't know what to say anymore because it's like, it's the same thing every single time. So I honestly,
I understand.
Dr. Abati.
Well, very quickly, the Nigerian fans turned out en masse. There was a lot of excitement. But at the end of the day, the Nigerian players disappointed us. I recall having a conversation with you on Sunday, and you made exactly the same point on This Day Live, that you don't trust these Nigerian players. But today you are blaming NFF, but on Sunday you were blaming the players themselves for their lack of commitment and lack of patriotism. In a way, you have been vindicated, but again, you are shifting the goalposts, blaming or raising issues about the NFF. I think what is important in football, whether from the side of the football managers or the team, is patriotism. After all, Iguavoin is wringing his hands in utter despair and frustration. He says he tried his best. He put Victor Boniface there, he put Kelechi Iheanacho there, and said, you are the strikers, can you deliver this game? At the end of the day, could it be that both Victor Boniface and Kelechi Iheanacho, they too were overwhelmed by this idea of not paying? But let us restate the basic principle, which is as follows, that workers deserve their wages. Those who employ them have no reason whatsoever. It's a height of stupidity and disrespect for you to bring people from Europe, engage them, send them onto the field of play, and you expect them to go beyond the call of duty, and you are owing them allowances and privileges. I expect the footballers to be heroes, but I also do not expect those in charge of football management to behave like they are from the 19th century, where slavery was still in force. That, I think, is the issue. But I see, you have changed your mind there slightly. I think it was disgraceful because the government thought if we could beat Rwanda, we would have made a point ahead of the World Cup qualifying series, where we may likely meet Rwanda again. Now we have given Amavubi, or what do you call them, we have given them confidence. And then next time they beat us, they will be walking on stilts, thinking that they can beat Nigeria. Africa's most populous country, Africa's most endowed country, but also endowed with people who do not understand the importance of leadership at all levels. We all focus on Abuja. We don't know that this leadership is at all levels. Thank you very much. Aaron.